Despite the Halo games being set over 500 years in the future, humanity still employs ballistic firearms, even in space. The UNSC's most well-known naval weapon is the MAC, which fires an electromagnetically propelled slug. But did the UNSC ever employ energy weapons? We'll be looking at that question today. Yes, they did. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Okay, let's get a bit more detail. Although the short answer is yes, let's look at the long answer. Although not as prominently as the Covenant, humanity has experimented with various forms of energy weapons, some which they have developed on their own, and some which they have reverse engineered from either the Covenant or the Forerunner. Notwithstanding these innovations, it was pretty much always cheaper, during the Human Covenant War at least, for the UNSC to rely on ballistic munitions, rather than the more advanced and development-intensive directed energy weapons. Things did change a little bit after the war, as the UNSC had a bit more economic freedom and more access to available technology. Let's start first with infantry class energy weapons, then we'll look at vehicles, then starships. The most prominent example of an energy weapon employed by the UNSC is obviously the M6 Spartan Laser. Originally produced alongside the, and you guys are gonna have to bear with me for this pronunciation, the Gungnir-Mjolnir project, the Spartan Laser is a portable anti-vehicle energy weapon, capable of destroying most targets in a single shot, albeit with significant charge-up time. Spartan lasers could be taken by infantry, but were also installed on various vehicles, including the AV-22 Sparrowhawk, which had a chin-mounted weapon. After the end of the war, the Pelican gunship was also equipped with another powerful chin-mounted variant. The Spartan Laser project as a whole was continually upgraded, culminating in the M6E, which was cheaper to produce and thus fielded more broadly by troops. And there were two known variants of this weapon. The Endgame, a slightly weaker version with a faster charge time and better battery capacity, and the Celine's Lance, a powerful upgrade which increased the weapon's battery and damage significantly. The Spartan Laser was arguably the most powerful infantry weapon in the entire UNSC arsenal. Aside from the Spartan Laser, during the war, Chalab's defense solution also experimented with direct energy weaponry, producing at least one prototype of a rifle that shot plasma in some form. While we don't have any formal designation for this weapon, it is likely that there have been many more prototypes and attempts at making other direct energy infantry weapons. However, besides for unique models, existing technology was also upgraded with reverse engineered Covenant and Forerunner tech. Some of these attempts yielded the Kinetic Bolts, which provided upgrades to the assault rifle, SMG, battle rifle, DMR, and shotgun. So on a basic level, weapons which utilized Kinetic Bolts would have hard light augmenting the projectiles as they exited the barrel. The Blaze of Glory variant for the M45 shotgun utilized Kinetic Bolts and gave the weapon much more damage, range, and also disintegrated targets after the kill, making the already very powerful shotgun even deadlier. It also gave infantry weapons better anti-vehicle capabilities, improved knockback, and again just the general effect of disintegration. The UNSC also used reverse engineered technology in melee weapons. One example of this was the energy bayonet, which was similar to a Covenant energy sword, but of course in bayonet form. The Nightblade, on the other hand, was Forerunner in origin and similar to the blade employed by the Promethean Knights. But let's move on and take a look at non-space vehicles. We have of course the aforementioned Sparrowhawk and Pelican gunships, but the Spirit of Fire also employed modified Condors, which sported 7 twin laser mounts. A modified Mantis, nicknamed Theseus, was also under the employ of Spartan Jerome, and used twin laser mounts instead of the standard armaments. The Gremlin, deployed during the Human Covenant War, had a non-nuclear electromagnetic pulse cannon, which was able to EMP enemy equipment and fire weak pulse lasers. If an energy weapon was employed, it was often on a large vehicle, like a tank. During the Human Covenant War, the M145D Rhino fielded a Zeus 320mm plasma cannon, which, although very rare, was one of the only wartime UNSC uses of plasma technology. After the war, the M820 Scorpion tank had an upgraded variant known as the XM820B4, which had a laser cannon. This deadly variant of the Scorpion was nicknamed the Hannibal. While its main weapon required a short charge time, upon firing it was absolutely devastating to whatever was in its way. The secret reverse engineering and prototype prototyping arm of ONI also tried to integrate existing Covenant tech into UNSC vehicles, resulting in, for example, the Quad Walker. Moving to space, the UNSC had developed their own pulse laser cannons independently from those of the Covenant, albeit much less powerful versions. Ordnance-wise, certain nukes were able to unleash relativistic plasma jets. However, heavy energy weapon use wasn't seen until after the war. Notably, the Amlace-class frigates were equipped not with a spinal-mounted MAC like most UNSC weapons, or even Archer missile pods, but rather some sort of unknown directed energy weapon. These new frigates have been produced in the hundreds and are sometimes even carried by the UNSC Infinity. And that's basically it for not only space, but the entire UNSC arsenal. And we can see that while the UNSC did employ mostly ballistic weapons, a lot of effort did go into creating various energy weapons. As the Human Covenant War progressed and ended, reverse engineered Covenant and Forerunner tech would be employed in creating various prototypes and equipment which utilized plasma, lasers, and even forms of hard light. But did I miss anything? Let me know down in the comments. But before we go, time for my question of the day. Today's question of the day comes from Heavenly Hit Points, who asks which planet in the Star Wars galaxy faced the most wars. So I'll talk you guys through my thought process in this one. It has to be a core world just because the core has been established for a very long time, and there was a lot of early fighting for dominance, especially as FTL was propagating throughout the galaxy. Specifically though, I think it has to be Coruscant, not only because for a lot of galactic history it was the capital of the Republic, but also because of the thousands of years long war against the neighboring planet of Alsakan. I think there were almost 20 separate Alsakanian wars, and again, that was some form of fighting for about 15,000 years, so we're talking a lot of action. Then Coruscant is again a battlefield several times to varying degrees during the Clone Wars. The New Republic takes it back after the fall of Endor. The Empire takes it back again when Palpatine returns and the New Republic captures it again. Thrawn sieges it, and of course it's terraformed by the Yuuzhan Vong. That is a lot of action, and that's what happens when you're the galactic capital. But that's just my opinion. There are lots of other good options in the modern universe. Mont Calamari I think would be a good choice. Going a little bit older, maybe something like Ruusan, I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It really helps me out. Subscribe, turn those notifications on, and of course, I'll see you guys soon.